What's up, guys? The team and I just got back from the North American Open Series in New Mexico, and I wanted to go over the videos and go over how we did and just review everybody's lifting. So let's check it out. All right, so North American Open Series 2 is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a really cool experience. We had 6 of our lifters from Marble Weightlifting go out there and compete. We had Arnie leading us off on Thursday morning. We had Eric on Friday morning, and then Mel Friday night. Alexa led us off on Saturday morning, and then Alice and Heather closed us out Saturday afternoon before we had to immediately jump on a plane and just come home. But it was a really cool experience. I think everybody did well for the most part, but we're going to check out their videos and we're going to go over a little background of how their cycle went and a little bit of what happened on the platform, what was going on in the back room, and just give you guys a little inside information on how we handle athletes and how I handle athletes in the warm-up area and get them ready to perform on the platform. All right, so our first lifter was Arnie Lalo, and I'm just going to hit the play button on this video. And we got Arnie standing there, and he's looking all cool. And Arnie had a really good cycle leading up to this competition. He was looking good about a week and a half before he hit some big numbers on a Saturday or Friday. I think he came in on Friday. And it was really cool to see him go out there. So I was confident in his performance. We opened up at 80 kilos. And, let's just check out this first lift. He's on the clock. When you open up, you get 1 minute to make your attempt. That guy's super excited. Look at him, how excited he is. So Arnie, we had to wear masks, and we should have practiced with them. Not that it made a big difference, but it just was uncomfortable. So let's check out Arnie's first attempt here at 80 kilos. He's setting up on that bar. Looks pretty good. And he hits it pretty good. So Arnie's fun to work with in the back, because it's only like the second time I've really coached him at a competition. And he freaks out. It's kind of fun. He gets the nervous coughs. He starts dry heaving. I'm pretty sure he scared Coach Mike a little bit. And I was just going with it. I was excited to see him out there. I knew he was just keeping the athletes calm as like part of the job and making sure they get out on the platform properly. So second attempt, we do 83. And yeah, I was confident about this one because about a week and a half prior, he hit 85, and it was shaky, but 83 was definitely there. And yeah, he locks that one in pretty good. A little early pull on that one, but all in all, it was a good job. He got white lights. We're 2 for 2 so far, so we're so far so good. Thursday morning's looking good. All right, we got our third attempt, and let me pause it real quick. Third attempt, we played with the numbers a little bit. I let it get to 84 before I changed the numbers, so I'll go over that during Eric's part. But went big. I felt like he was feeling pretty good. He was moving pretty good. So we went with 87, and I just wanted to see what he had. I know he's capable of more. He hasn't been lifting more than 84 in training. 84, 85 was pretty much his peak. So just wanted to give this a go and see what happened. And just didn't get it high enough. It kind of buried him a little bit. And you got the red lights, but listen, that's a good no lift. All right, like the snatches went well. We were 2 for 3, but that third one was real close. So really good job with staying with that one on that one, Arnie, and really happy with the way the snatches went. So we move into the clean and jerks. And prior to going out to New Mexico, I told Arnie, I was like, listen, I want to see 120, so we're going to take that on the second attempt. So 115 I knew was there just to get him in the door and get his confidence up. So we opened up at 115. He was looking good in the back, so everything was going smoothly. Like I said, his cycle leading up to this competition was really good. He was feeling really good. He was confident, and it was showing here. So despite all of the nervous energy and the dry heaving in the back and almost throwing up in the garbage can, he comes out for his first attempt at 115. Great clean. A little sticky, but all in all, pretty good stand-up. And right overhead. Yep, no problem with that one. The bow. Love the bow for Arnie. So like I said, I really wanted 120, so we took it on the second shot. Second attempt was 120. I wanted to give him 2 chances, so that's why we went 120 for the second one. His best previously was like a shaky 117, 118 here. And I think he hit like 117 the week and a half prior. So 120 we've been chasing this for a little while. And, you know, I wanted to see him do it. So we threw it on their second attempt in case we needed to go at it again. So let's check out Arnie's second attempt. Great clean, right up. A little out in front, that's okay. Buried him just a bit, but he's in control. And he locks that out pretty well. And there's the excitement. 120 on the first try. We didn't even need the second. Look, that guy's super excited. Look how pumped he is. So this was a different angle from my angle. In the back, you can hear me screaming a little bit. And I'm loving the energy. I'm pumping him up, and I don't know if he even hears me. When you're on the platform, you don't really hear anything, but there he is right there, getting all excited. I love it. That was super. We still had one more, so let me pause that real quick. We still had one more, and I'm pretty sure that Arnie was already in his mind starting to drink and relax a little bit, because 120 was kind of the goal for us. It was, I think, 85 120 was the ultimate goal, but we hit 83 and 120 so far. So I mean, had I throw anything on this bar, I don't know how it would have gone. I think he had settled at 120, and I was more than fine with that for now. So we threw on 124 because I felt like, listen, if we're going to go after something, we're going to go after something a little bit bigger that he hasn't touched in a real long time. I don't think he's ever cleaned anything over 120. So in retrospect, I probably could have gone 122, but I really don't think it would have mattered. So let's play out this third attempt. 124, Arnie Lalo. I'm pumping him up on the side. I don't know if you can see that. Getting him a little smack, trying to amp him up a little bit, get him ready for this thing. But I'm pretty sure in his mind he's already at the bar drinking. And he's just like, let me just walk up to this bar as a formality. I guess, spoiler alert, it doesn't go well. We'll check this one out anyway. And, you know, he sets up well. And I think this weight is totally there. I think that under different circumstances, it would have gone even better. But, yeah, just not enough energy behind that one. He had already settled at 120. And he thanks the loaders, especially this guy. Hey, big guy, coming in for the handshake. There he is right there. So that was cool. Really happy with Arnie's performance. 4 for 6, 83, 120. And it earned him a third place medal in Masters. So surprised all of us because we didn't really even expect that. But really proud of him. Awesome job, Arnie. So keep that up. All right, next we have Eric. And here he is. Wave to the crowd, Eric. There's the patented Eric Zucaro wave. We opened up at 90. Now, I'm going to pause this real quick. Eric did not have the best cycle leading up to this competition. In fact, it was probably one of the worst cycles ever. Like, his training was just off. Everything was unfocused. And a little bit of little fun fact. Eric and I like to get into arguments or fights right before competitions. And it's happened, I think, twice so far. But, I mean, at this point, it's just kind of like we're just around each other so often that it just gets to that point. And you know, it's fine. We always hash it out at the end, and it's no big deal. But coming into this competition, the warm-up area, I think snatches were going well in the back, so we opened up at 90. Originally, I wanted a little bit heavier of an opener, but I think given the way the cycle was going and the confidence that Eric didn't have for the snatch, that we just lowered it down to 90 just to get something on the board. So here's his first attempt, 90 kilos. Eric Zucaro. And, you know, he locks it out. There's just a little bit of a timing issue with Eric. We're trying to focus on that this next training cycle, gearing up for the Monmouth Championships, but he's got 2 more attempts. We went 93 on the second attempt. And prior to everyone going out, we do a heavier pull just to get them acclimated. And I think that for Eric, that helps a lot of the time. So here's his second attempt, 93 kilos. I think he's going to wait for the 30-second buzzer before he lifts it off the floor. No, he doesn't. And he had it. It's just a little bit of an early, it's a timing thing. And it was just something that we've got to work on. We've been working on it. And it just, you can see it just kicks that bar out in front, and then it swings and buries him in the bottom. So, you know, it's more of a finesse thing, and we have to just work on that a little bit and pay attention to those details, guys. Everything comes down to the littlest details in weightlifting. So when you're lifting off the floor, make sure everything is in line. And we jumped to 94 for Eric's third attempt. After he finished his session, after clean jerks, he had told me, he's like, we should just did 93 again, because he just was already primed for it. But I wanted to give him a little bit of time to settle down, and hopefully that helped out. And I know he's capable of doing more. I've seen him power snatch 98. So it's just, Eric is a puzzle, if I can say that. But it's fun watching him lift a little bit, and he gets into it, and he works hard. So this is a third attempt at 94, and just not enough on it. I think the confidence just wasn't there. So snatches 1 for 3 on the day so far. Given how the whole cycle went, I mean, it went as well as I thought it was going to go. He has a little bit of issues and with the timing, but other than that, I mean, 90's okay. We're still in the game, and we move on to clean and jerks, where we open up at 120, where Arnie left off. So first attempt for Eric is going to be 120, and Eric's jerk has never been the best. It's always been a work in progress, and so we're just trying to get all that timing and work those kinks out, because that's the biggest issue that Eric has, is that jerk. So 120 opened up. We took it a little bit lighter, easy clean for him. He's cleaned up to 138, I think. So easy clean, sets himself up, and you know what? Not a bad jerk at all. Gets one red light. There's the red light. That nasty Russian judge. God damn you. But yeah, so we made that one. So we jumped up to 124. I don't know why 124 was kind of in my head, I guess. But 124, I guess I wanted to see it go up. Tosses the ammonia, in case you guys are unaware. The ammonia, wake you up, it's fun to have. I recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. All right, second attempt, 124. Eric's all pumped up. Yeah, you know what? After the snatches, he woke up a little bit. This was good. So, once again, good clean, a little mistimed on that one, but he recovered well. He's got the legs for it. Sets himself up. And then another good jerk. 2 for 2 for Eric, and that's pretty good. Another red light from that Russian judge. God damn it. But, see, here's the thing, right? Eric was the last person to lift, and I knew we had time. So we hit 2 lifts on the clean and jerk. I was happy with that. I wanted to see something a little bit bigger, so I immediately walked up to him and said, I want to see 130. So he said okay, gave me the go-ahead, so we end up going to 130 for the third attempt. So when you're following yourself in competition, you have a 2-minute clock. I don't have to declare a weight until that clock starts running. So that once they change the weights and they put the collars on, they're messing around with the plates. The bolts have to be in case you guys didn't know. Bolts, the first plate, the bolts face out, and every other plate after that, the bolts face inward, and it's a safety issue. I don't know. So once the clock starts, now it's on my time, right? I'm on the clock. I have 30 seconds to make a declaration, which I will do within 10 seconds just to declare something. And once you declare, then you get 2 changes. So there, within 10 seconds, I've made my declaration at 126, just to have give the loaders something to do and waste a little bit more time, so that Eric gets a little bit more time to rest. So that's kind of the goal for that. Once they load that bar, the clock runs again, and then a few more seconds go by. I'll make my first change. You'll see that in a moment. And I probably just signed it. There it is, 128. So that's the first change at 128, and then you wait for the loaders to figure out which one is 128. Take off that little white guy, put on the little yellow guy. Great job, loaders. You're doing awesome. And then I get one more change. Now I have to make that change before the 30-second mark on the clock countdown. So I have another minute before I can no longer make changes, which I'll make it in a few seconds. You'll see the screen change, and you'll see the number jump up to 130. And I know that I'll have given Eric enough time to rest and collect himself, and you'll see me pop out in the frame on the left. That's me going, all right, man, this is the one I want to see. I've made all the changes. You've done all the work. Now let's go see it, put it away. Like, that's me getting Eric all amped up. So we got him 130. He's got 1:17 left on the clock, which, I mean, given all the time that he's rested, I don't know, it had to be over 2 minutes. Or at least about 2 minutes completely. Then he's got a little bit of time there. So still a minute left on his clock for him to lift that weight. And I think he takes it down past the 30-second mark. So at this moment, like, between me and Coach Mike, we're just sitting there trying to get his mind wrapped around, ready to lift this weight. Like, there's nothing else we can really do. We're just going to get him loose, smack him around a little bit, get him amped up, and we're going to see him go out and take this third attempt and final attempt of his weekend at 130 kilos, 286 pounds. It's not a PR for him. I think it's a tie for a competition PR. Had I known that, I probably would have thrown 131. I kind of forgot. I thought 128 was his best, but I think he said 130 was at one of the freehold liftoffs. So he takes this down to the wire, and Eric works well under pressure. So he likes when there's a little bit of a countdown and a little bit of danger to it. So let's see him take his third attempt. That was the best clean so far. He's set up pretty nicely, takes his air in through his mask. And the best jerk that he's did all day. So he gets 3 white lights, as all the judges agree, even the Russian one. She's not Russian, or he's not Russian, I don't know. There he is, right up on that clean from my angle. This is what I see. Me screaming at him. You can hear me. And balance. It's just a beautiful thing when everything comes together and you finish out that last lift. It's just awesome. Like, there's no better feeling than when you hit that last lift of your session, of your meet. Like, that's one of the best feelings you can feel on that platform at a big competition. It's just like, dude, I just did that. It's awesome. You feel great. Now let's go get drunk. Essentially, that's kind of how it went. All right, so Eric finished out his weekend 4 for 6, just like Arnie, but 1 snatch and all 3 jerks. And that last one was really good. So really proud of him, putting in all that hard work. That was a lot of fun to watch him go out there and crush it. So we're on to the next one. He's doing the October 1 Mama Championships. Check that out, October 30th. All right, next we have Melanie Lendis. Now, I don't work with Mel a lot, or at all, really. There's her nervous energy when they call her name. It's super exciting. So I don't work with Mel a lot. I think I worked with her once during her cycle. Like, this is basically Coach Mike's athlete. I was just there for support, like he was throughout the rest of the competition for us. And so I worked with Mel maybe the week before we got to Albuquerque, and I really didn't know any of her numbers. I've seen her lift a few times, but I didn't really ever work with her. So she had hit, I think, 50 and 64 with me, working with me a little bit the week or two before this competition. And she got out there, and this was her first big stage competition. So when you're not used to the stage like this, that nervous energy comes out. And when you don't know how to control it, this is why I like to reinforce a message of when I get new athletes, they come in the door, they want to hit these big numbers. Hold on. Let's hit small numbers on a small stage and continue to make progress, as opposed to let's just jump you to the big stage after you compete once. Like, I don't like doing that. If you come into my gym and you qualify after one competition for a regional competition series, I may not want you to do it at all, because you're not ready. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to compete yet. You have to learn how to compete. Not saying that Mel didn't need to do this. Like, I'm glad that she got her feet wet and she was able to come out here. But in general, like, someone just started weightlifting and they have these big aspirations. Like, I need to slow them down a little bit, because you need to learn how to compete and how to fight through those fearful moments. So this was a learning process for Mel. Her first go at a big stage competition, and we opened up at 45. We were pretty confident with her 45, because in the back she hit 50. accidentally, we told her to do a pull, or Coach Mike said, hey, do a pull at 50, and she did a full squat snatch, and it was fine. So we were feeling pretty confident with this 45 kilo opener, since it was, 5 kilos less, 10% less. So here's her first attempt at 45, and she looks up. Oh boy. The nerves got to her. She looked up, she saw the stage, and just two reds to one white. Just didn't go. So she didn't want to squat. That nervousness, once that nervous energy enters your body, you stop doing the things properly, and you just do what you default. You go back to default mode. So her default mode was, I'm just going to pull this thing really hard and power it. And she just didn't have the height on it and didn't lock her arms out. So we got some press outs on there. So we'll do it again. Let's go 45 again. Second attempt for Mel. And she's trying to shake out those nerves. We're trying to calm her down in the back as she's sitting there sort of freaking out in her mind. So you do the best you can. Like I said, this is her first big stage competition, and she traveled. Oh boy, another press out. That one, that one was a lot closer. They all gave a red on that one. So that was 3 red lights, and that's just unfortunate. That one looked better than the first one, but she comes out for the third one. Once again, she's trying to shake out that nervous energy. She's trying to clear her mind, getting everybody to try to call her out. It's hard, you gotta get used to that, and it takes a little bit of takes some time. You gotta compete a little bit more, and you have to get some experience being nervous and being around that stage. So it's the third attempt, 45, and just didn't have the squat in her, like, on stage. She just got nervous, and a lot of newer athletes, not newer, but like, I know Mel's been doing this a little bit of time, but she hasn't been competing as long. A lot of newer athletes that are competing, if they get nervous, they'll default to power mode, and your power will be stronger than your squat because it's just an uncomfortable position. If you're a weightlifter, like most of people watching this know what's going on, you understand that squat snatching can be terrifying. So, it takes a little bit of time to practice and prepare yourself. So we 0 for 3 with the snatches. No big deal. We bombed out. No big deal. They still got clean and jerks. She can still get a medal for clean and jerks because there's nobody in her weight class and her age group. So had she gotten one snatch, she would have taken gold in the snatch. Let's move on to clean and jerks, where we open up at 55. Yeah, she's the only one that would put marble barbell, as if she doesn't come to this gym often and she doesn't know that we're marble weightlifting, because marble barbell sounds horrific. All right, so we opened up at 55 for clean and jerks, and I felt good about this. Like, her cleans are pretty easy. She pulls the bar plenty high enough, and she's got the control over it. So 55, that looks good. Good opener. So we at least got gold medal in the clean and jerk. So we didn't completely bum out. So that relieves some of the nerves, some of that nervous energy. Once you get one, you got to get one, guys. That's the hard part. Get one. Get your foot in the door. Jump it right up to 60 after playing around with a little bit of the numbers. And here's Mel's second attempt at 60. Once again, an easy clean. She's got the leg drive. She's got the legs for the clean. A little shaky on the jerk, but all in all, that's a good lockout. It's good for white lights, 60 kilos. And then we go up to 65. I'd seen her clean and jerk 64 a week and a half prior, like I said. Mike was confident with 65, so he made the call. It's his athlete for marble barbell. It's a terrible name. I would never name my gym that. There you go. Good clean. Just didn't get the elbows through a little bit. Need to get those through a little bit more. And then just let that bar bury her a little bit. Not a bad day. Get learning experience. You got your first big stage competition out of the way. You traveled a little bit for it, so that, that all adds into the stress factor. And we may have missed all the snatches, but still not a bad weekend when you go 2 for 3 on your jerks and you get a gold medal for clean and jerk. So Can't ask for anything more except, I guess, one snatch. Then I guess you can ask for a little more. But really, Mel, just keep at it and, you know, keep putting in that work. It's going to pay off. All right, so next we have Alexa Long. And Alexa had an okay cycle. She didn't have an amazing cycle. I wanted to work with her after I think these guys did the Westchester competition over the summer. I kind of wanted to get everybody a little fine-tuned for this meet, but we didn't have a lot of time. We had like 5 weeks. And, you know, just tweaking little things here and there, balance issues, timing issues. And this was also Alexa's first big stage competition. So, you know, for her, Heather, and Alice, they had to wait until Saturday to compete. So we got there Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. Alexa goes, you know, that's a lot of time to think about stuff. Am I going to make weight? I know she was freaking out like half the time about making weight, and just, you know, that stuff just buries you more and more. And the longer it lingers, it just like consumes you. So dealing with that is a skill in itself. And I think she did a pretty good job with it for the most part. So let's see her first attempt here at 53 kilos. Like I said, I wanted a big competition here. So I think her best ever is like 57. So we opened at 53. I was confident with it. She was looking pretty good in the back, despite all the nervous energy that everybody has. And it's just part of the process, guys. Just part of the process of competing and not knowing when you're going to lift, and then going out there and seeing what you got. First one, it's a good lift, nice and easy. Looking good on that first one, 53. So we jump up, I think, to 56. Now, I was confident with this one. I think 56 is a good number for her for the second attempt. So I was happy with this one. And, you know, just see her second attempt. Like I said, we were working on little tweaks the whole weekend prior to this. Gets it high enough, just doesn't have the control to keep it there. So no big deal. We'll reset. I like to jump up a little bit just to give the athlete a little bit of time. So 57 is basically nothing more than 56. And I think I'm going to pause this. I think the biggest issue that I had was I was amping her up a little bit, and then it sort of forced her to rush this pull a little bit. So 57, here we go. Let's check it out. It's a little bit rushed, and the position just was a little off. That's all that happened with this one, because you got plenty high. It was there. Plenty high, just a few millimeters, maybe a centimeter off, and that was the difference in that one. But other than that, I was happy with the snatches. 53 is not bad. Let's forget about the other two. We move on to clean and jerks, and we open up at 70. Now, Alexa's clean this past cycle has been like a little struggle bus. She was trying to cut a lot of weight, and every time she would go for a clean, it would kind of bury her. So I think she was feeling a little bit, I don't think she was feeling confident with the clean, and that was the biggest issue. Her jerk is not the problem. It was her clean that just gets in her head a little bit. So you got to sort of calm her down. And this first one seemed good, but that nervous energy, I'm going to pause that a second, that nervous energy just took over, and she forgot what she needed to do. And sometimes you got to remind them, hey, listen, just do the things you know how to do. Don't worry about everybody else in the room. Look up, squeeze the bar, and this is what you got to do. So she starts mentally freaking out. We got to calm her down a little bit. No big deal. I've seen her make that clean plenty of times. We can watch this. It's from my angle. It's not a bad pull. It's just that nervous energy takes your legs away a little bit, and then you're not active, and that's what happens. So we jump up to 71 because, you know what? Forget 70. We got 71. And the nervous energy creeps in a little bit again, but you'll see what happens here on the second attempt. 71 kilos. Still good clean. That little nervous energy takes her out in front, but she was, you know, she wasn't going to let that go. And like I said, that jerk, it's not a problem, right? 71. Now she's starting to calm down a little bit. She's like, finally, all right, good. And now I want 75 because this is the one we've been chasing for a while now. And, you know what? She's calmed down. We've talked it out. We've got her. She's pumped up. She came back. She wanted to fight for this one. And let's check out third attempt. Right up. Beautiful clean. A little sticky in the bottom, but that's okay. And here's the jerk. Lights out. There it is. Beautiful jerk. And she's pumped. She's made the 75. You know, we've missed that a couple times on the platform before. I think we missed it here. So big milestone. Last attempt of the day for her. Just super proud of all the work she puts in. And keep it up, Alexa. You're doing great. So we'll just keep that momentum going. We'll fix a couple of positional things on the snatch, and we'll just keep rolling. All right, next we have Alice. And Alice and DK were working together. We were sharing the platform. Like, I don't really work with Alice all that much. She's just... we work out once in a while, but I don't really work with her. It's more DK. So Alice and Heather are in this session. And Alice hadn't competed in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And this was her second competition, so her first big stage competition back in 2 or 3 years. And, you know, she's sort of a veteran. She's been around. She knows how to handle herself in the warm-up area and in the training hall. So it's not really, and on the platform, so it's not really much you need to do with her. It's just like put the weight on the bar and say, go lift it for Alice. She's pretty easygoing. Then she likes to take her time, and she was freaking out the announcer. And they were kind of stressing me out too, because I wasn't prepared for that. DK did not tell me how his pace was going to be. First attempt at 60 kilos. That's white lights right there. Good opener attempt. Yeah, so like I said, I was not ready to work at DK's pace. Him and Alice moved at a very much slower pace than I do. So kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Alice is going to take her second attempt here at 63. And the announcer's freaking out. Why isn't Alice out here yet? The clock is running. Where is Alice? Okay, there she is. She's going to come out. So their MO is to just take the clock down. That's your clock. It's your time. So that's what they like to do. And you know what? If it works, guys. So it's your clock. You take all the time you want that you are allowed to take. Oh, a little soft elbows on that one. But hey, there's that nervous energy coming out. Yeah, I did it, but no lift. That's a surprise, but it's fun. That's probably the heaviest weight Alice had overhead in a while, because she'd been hitting like 58, 60 at the most in training. And then after that 63, we jumped up to 66, and there he is. He's freaking out. You're going to see him. There he moves the microphone and goes, I don't know what was going on. You're making me nervous here. And DK's like, you got to keep him in suspense. Here's Alice on her third attempt. 66. Little soft elbow on the right, but left is good. And the judges say, okay, that's good. We'll take it. So there's 66 for Alice on the snatches, 2 for 3 on the day. A little pressy, but 2 for 3 still. And that's the heaviest she's lifted. I think that's a PR of 66. So, good job, Alice. Keep it up, Keep moving. You're working on stuff. I know you guys got you guys do some weird stuff. You guys they squat on the squishy mattresses or something like that with no shoes on. I don't know. I'll have to ask DK what the hell the point of that is, but he'll get back to me, I'm sure. All right, so opener at 78 for Alice. I think this is just under her best. And the clean is no problem. Alice squats 150 kilos, 330 pounds. So that clean and jerk is not a problem. Her front squat's like 125, 275 pounds. So her legs are not the problem, if we're being honest, guys. Those press outs are not because her legs are not working. I've told her this before, but whatever. All right, so we got 81 second attempt. And once again, taking it down to the wire. Here we go. 81 kilos. Just another easy clean. And then, oh boy, the judges didn't like that elbow. So I think they give that red light on there. But it's okay. They jump up. We're going to jump up to 83. And Alice is going to take her third attempt a little bit heavier. Like I said, the clean is not the problem here, guys. The jerk, you know, everybody has a problem with the jerk. That's why they call them jerks. They're stupid. But yeah, takes it down to the wire. Here we go. Third attempt for Alice Hui. Marble barbell. Terrible. Just terrible marble barbell. All right, third attempt, 83. We jumped up a little bit. The clean is, I think, the heaviest clean that she's attempted in a real long time, if not ever. I think this is a PR clean. And, I mean, I don't know where they see all the elbow floppiness on that one, but she got all red lights on that one, and I disagree. I thought that one was probably the better one. A little shaky on that right elbow, but we can play it back. And we'll see what happened here. Yeah, they call her on that right elbow, but I disagree. I mean, that one, it looked good. I don't know what their problem was. They were being stingy with the white lights. What are you going to do? So that was Alice's day. 3 for 6, 2 snatches, 60 opener and 66 for third attempt, and then 78 opener. And, you know, it's a pretty good day for a first competition, big stage competition back in a while. So keep it up, Alice. Maybe get the push press up a little bit, and then, you know, we'll fix that jerk. Lord knows you don't need to squat anymore. Your legs are strong enough, I think. But it's fun to watch. All right, so last up, we have Heather Mentone closing our weekend out. Heather had a decent cycle. She was feeling good. She was looking good before we went out there. So I was feeling pretty good. The only difference, like I was saying before with Alexa, is that like those days that you're not lifting and you're just the anticipation is what kills you. And I think a lot of that got in Heather's head, and I think that's a lot of it takes time. Like this was only her second big stage competition. I think the first one was the Arnold in 2019. I don't think she's done any more since, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so she's only done local competitions, and totally different beasts. Local competitions to big stage competitions, regional competitions to nationals, totally different beasts. It's a bigger stage, bigger crowd, a little more pressure. And, you know, it takes time to practice, takes a skill to develop that. So let's check out first attempt here at 64. In the warm-up area, she was looking pretty good. So I was confident about 64, was feeling pretty good. That's a good opener. There you go, 64. And I jump up a little bit, and the problem I had was jumping up to 67. She was about 8 attempts until her second attempt, so I needed her to take something in the warm-up area. So we took 65 prior to this one. Now, Heather did one of the worst snatches I've ever seen her attempt, other than when she clarks the bar, and clarking is when you'll see. And that ruined her. Once that image or that feeling got into her head, that's it. It was over. She was never going to fix it. And this is what happens when you let that doubt seep into your mind. So here's 67 second attempt, and we're going to see what a Clark is. It's named after a weightlifter who named Clark. I don't know why that's stuck with him, but this is what happens when you clark the bar. It means you don't make the attempt. Like, you don't even attempt. You just pull it, and there you go. So that was 67 second attempt, and here's the third attempt, and same thing. There was nothing I could say to her to get her out of that funk. It was just, okay, 64 went, but 65 didn't. And I needed her to take something in the back. I didn't want her to wait 8 attempts, which could have been 10 minutes. Before taking a second attempt. So we took 65 in the back. It didn't go well because she did some funky shit that I have no idea. I have video of it somewhere, but yeah, I don't know why she decided she didn't want to lift at that point, but this is what happened, and you know, we have to roll with it. So one snatch at 64. We're moving on to clean and jerks, and we open up at 78 just like Alice. They were basically following each other the entire time, or at least going somewhat close. So 78 here for Heather. First attempt. She was doing real well in the back. She was starting to wake up a little bit. And good clean. No problem on that. Legs are good. Good jerk. So I feel like we're back in business. All right. We got a good opener. 78. We jump up to 82 on the next attempt. So here's a second attempt. And I was fine making the bigger jump. Like 82 is kind of a PR for her. But I mean, what else are we going to do? Not hit it? And it buries her a little bit. And this just completely demoralizes her. So once that happened to her, getting her out of that funk is pretty damn near impossible. So I tried my best with this one. We took 82 again. Try to wake her up a little bit, get her out there for the third attempt, 82 again. And we try to give her a little bit of time, best we can. But there's just, when that doubt seeps into your head, you just, this is what happens. Let's see, 32, third attempt. And that's it. Just a high pull on that bar. And that's all we got. So 2 for 6 for Heather. And leading up to this competition, her lifts were looking pretty good. She was hitting 67, 60, 66, 67 on snatch. And we hit 83 clean and jerk, I think a week or two prior. And things were moving. So I felt good about this. I think it was just the pressure that got to her, a little bit of confidence issues, and that's something we have to work on moving forward. But all in all, guys, I'd say we had a pretty successful competition. We brought home a little bit of hardware. We got a little bit of experience with a bigger competition and a bigger stage, and hopefully we can transfer that to our local competitions that we do and the next one that we do, which is the Arnold in March. So, I'm looking forward to the next couple of training cycles to get us there, and we'll see how we do with the next one. We got a big team going out to the Arnold, or we seemingly do. I think like 11 or 12 athletes, and I know we have like 13 or 14 competing at the Monmouth Championships on October 30th. So check that out. I'm going to be live streaming it on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and you like all our videos. I want to thank all my athletes and coaches for helping out with this past weekend at Albuquerque, and just keep up the hard work. We're doing great, guys. Age is inevitable. Weakness is not. Get out there and live some shit. We'll see you next time for the next one. Thank you. Thanks for watching today's Marblecast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content. Check out our Spreadshirt shop to grab some swag, and if you would like to support the Marblecast, please head over to anchor.fm. All of the links are in the description, and it helps us out to keep the channel running. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.